Hi, I'm Jon Thelen, host of Lindy's Fish Ed Television. We got a question about the beginner's guide to walleye fishing, and that's an awful broad-based broad-based question, but I'll tell you what, there is a way we can answer this, and I'm going to start with the end of the gentleman's question, which was, can you shore fish for walleyes? And here's what I would say to that: absolutely, you can shore fish for walleyes. Couple good times of the year to shore fish for walleyes. Number one, in the spring. And number two, in the fall, because the fish are shallow. In the spring, they're shallow because they're in there spawning. And in the fall, they're shallow again because they're in there feeding on minnows that spawn in the fall. A couple things I would tell you. In the spring, you want to look for areas that are sand or gravel. Any areas where the wind can get in there, and when they lay those eggs, what happens is walleyes need to lay their eggs in areas where the wind can move those eggs to keep them aerated. So that's what they're looking for. So sand or gravel type areas are great in the spring. In the fall, rock areas are awesome, weed areas are awesome, because those minnows will come in and they'll spawn in those areas and the walleyes will chase them right in there. A lot of times it'll be the same type of stuff, but man, I'll tell you what, if you can get on a shore situation where you have that type of bottom in the spring or the fall, you can do really well. A couple different ways to fish those fish. Number one is with a slip bobber setup. You can go to YouTube and you can Google, how to fish a slip bobber, and you can see exactly how to do that real easy. But what a slip bobber allows you to do is make a cast from shore, set it so that you can be a foot off the bottom no matter how deep you're able to cast to. So what you want to do is you want to, if you think that you're going to be able to cast out to 8 feet of water, you want to set for 7 feet. If the bobber lays on its side, it means we're fishing too deep. So you just want to shallow it up a little bit. But you want to be able to cast as far as you can, and a lot of times from shore, you can get out in the neighborhood of the top end of that first break. If you look at most of our Midwestern lakes, that top break, the top of the first break, happens somewhere around 7 to 8 feet. And a lot of times walleyes in the spring and fall will be cruising that top. The other thing you can do is cast crankbaits. And when I want to cast a crankbait, what I want to do is I want to cast a crank that's going to have a cranking depth, if I were trolling, of 8 to 10 feet. And then something 6 to 8 feet for when I'm casting. So what that's going to mean is when I'm casting that out, I'm casting it to the deepest part. I'm trying to get it down as fast as I can to that 6 to 8 feet, and I'm just going to go ahead and reel it in. And every now and then I'm going to put some different actions on it. I might twitch it a little bit, give it a little bit of speed, stop it for a second. Those types of things are going to trigger fish. So you can absolutely fish from shore. You can fish with a slip bobber technique or a crankbait technique. You can do it in the spring or fall and be very effective.